Hello, this is Bill Steffen. Thanks for checking out my video for the day. Boy, we had a beautiful evening, Tuesday evening, with the crescent moon there off to the west, about a 15% crescent moon. It's getting bigger each night, which means it's waxing, W-A-X-I-N-G. A quick hi to our Ottawa News Network viewers, and this is a rather interesting picture. This is from the National Weather Service. It's a forecast for this afternoon of whether the 48 states are going to be colder than normal or warmer than normal. Blue is colder than normal, and boy, that covers just about the whole contiguous 48 states. Who's going to be warmer than normal? Well, a good portion of the Florida Peninsula, the stretch from northern North Dakota into the Pacific Northwest, the Sacramento Valley, and that's about it. A lot of dark blue out there, some of those dark blues indicating temperatures today are going to be about 10 degrees cooler than average. All right, look at some high temperatures that we had on Tuesday. It was quite a climb. Many areas were down in the 40s during the early morning, and that'll be the case this morning as well. Hey, look at this. Grand Rapids topped the list for a change, 72 degrees. Fremont and Ionia at 71. Battle Creek, Kalamazoo only reached 70. Holland, that's the airport, and Ludington at 69. 67 was the high at the South Haven Pier, 66 the Muskegon Pier, 65 at the Holland Beach. There's a weather station that you can see if you go to Holland State Park, right at the edge of the channel out there, so that's kind of neat. And I put the last thing I had up here was Utqiagvik in Alaska. Their high temperature was 34, and it was snowing up there today, so it's getting colder in Alaska. It won't be too terribly long before some of that cool air starts to head south toward the United States, but rather wintry day there. Daylight continues to shrink here at a pretty rapid pace. Sunrise today, 7:02. We've lost about an hour's worth of sunshine during the early morning and about an hour's worth in the evening as well. We're down to 13 hours and 23 minutes of daylight. Average high and low still at 80 and 60. Record high for the day, 95, 1948, and 1973. And the record low, 42 in 1945. Past 5 days or so, we've had a lot of records from the 1940s there. Today on the lake will be pretty similar to yesterday. Waves will be around 1 to 3 feet, so a little bit of a light chop out there. The waves probably around a foot early, and they may kick up to around 2 to 3 feet in the afternoon. Water temperature still mighty chilly. Look at the Hoffmaster in Grand Haven at 49. Holland was 66. I expect that west wind to eventually bring some warmer water back toward the shore. Reed's Lake hanging in there at 75, courtesy of some sunshine here during the afternoon, warming things up just a bit. Okay, a look at severe weather threats here. We are in the light green in West Michigan, and that is for Wednesday late at night. It will be dry during the day today. It will be dry during the evening. If we get any rain at all, it would be probably after about 2 or 3 in the morning. So you can plan on a dry day. A lot of scattered thunderstorm activity through the western United States. The entire state of Arizona, the entire state of Utah, the entire state of Nevada, most all of Oregon and Washington under the gun for a thunderstorm, though severe weather is not expected. And then we go to Thursday, and there's a green area right up over the southern Great Lakes. That's indicating that there could be a shower or thunderstorm. And no severe weather is expected. When the last I looked, there wasn't any severe weather. I'm sure there was a little bit out west where they could see some stronger wind gusts and some of those thunderstorms coming off the mountains of Arizona. But boy, I tell you, it's a pretty quiet pattern for hurricanes, a quiet pattern for thunderstorms. The earth is very calm right now. Let's keep it that way. A look at where it's going to rain, and boy, look at the rain they're going to get in Kansas, eastern Oklahoma, in Arkansas. The orange there is over 2 inches of rain. The red is over 3 inches of rain. Now that's over a 3-day period. And look at the rain they're going to get out in Wyoming and Idaho. That's probably enough for some local flooding out there as well. There'll be a scattered shower thunderstorm just about anywhere in Arizona. There'll be some thunderstorms forming over the Sierra Nevada mountains of central California. Pretty interesting day. And let's zoom into Michigan and show you what we expect here. This is for late Wednesday night into Thursday, anywhere from about a tenth to a half an inch, with the most up there just east of Traverse City. Be grateful for what rain we get, because it looks like the next 4 or 5 days into Labor Day weekend and beyond are going to be dry. So if we're going to get any rain, it's going to be here during the day on Thursday, and we look forward to that. Tropical update. We've got tropical storm, not hurricane, but tropical storm Fernand, and it's Fernand, not Fernando. And it's about even with Maryland or so, and it is taking a path off to the northeast, and it will gradually dissipate. And once again, we have yet another tropical storm that is avoiding all land areas and basically staying over open water. A look at what's going on in the Eastern Pacific, where we have Juliet in the Eastern Pacific, and there it is. And you can see Juliet is with 2 E's and 2 T's. That's going to be moving off toward the west-northwest, and it will pass what's left of it, which won't be much. Will pass northeast of Hawaii. The orange X is a 40% chance. The yellows are 20% chance, so that's less than 50-50. And that would be of developing the next system. And then out in the Western Pacific Ocean, one little tropical wave. That's all that's going on. Normally there would be quite a bit of activity out here as we head into late August and September. The peak of the hurricane season, by the way, is September 10. Half of it comes before September 10 and half after. We do expect things to pick up a little bit in the Atlantic especially, but for the time being, not much going on. All right, our headlines: continued cool. It will be dry today. There is a chance of rain late Wednesday night into Thursday. And then mostly dry weather expected here for the coming weekend. Should see a good amount of sunshine, and temperatures should be moderating back up near average. So a good Labor Day weekend coming up here. Taking a look at what we have for today, we're going to go for temperatures in the mid-70s here. It'll be about 5 degrees cooler at the Lake Michigan beaches, maybe 5 to 6 degrees cooler. Early morning 48 in the city, and some of the really cool spots like Baldwin could reach 39 by daybreak. Skies clear in the morning, a few scattered cumulus clouds developing during the afternoon. Humidity would be down to 40% during the afternoon hours, and the wind west at 10 to 15 miles an hour. Some high temperatures here for the day today, mid-70s in just about all areas, low 70s at the cities like South Haven and Benton Harbor. And in the UP, temperatures will be in the low to mid-70s. So statewide, pretty nice day. Then we move on to Thursday. A little front comes through, and it starts to turn cooler to the north. Traverse City is only 65 on Thursday. And look at across the UP, 57, the high at Marquette here on Thursday. So it's going to be cool with that wind coming off Lake Superior. Southern lower Michigan, where most of us are, anywhere from upper 60s at the lakeshore to low 70s in inland areas. Chicago, by the way, gets a 76. And then for Saturday, this is what it looks like. Pretty nice day. Temperatures will be low to mid-70s. Pretty much statewide. If you're traveling north up toward the bridge, doing the bridge walk, weather looks good for that. I think it will be dry with temperatures while people are walking in the 60s. So maybe a light jacket, sweater, something like that will do you for the bridge walk here on Monday. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The only chance of rain appears to be late Wednesday night and Thursday. Temperatures in the 70s, very comfortable. We're back up to 78 by Sunday and maybe 80 for Labor Day. So look at the low temperatures. We got 3 days there with lows in the mid to upper 40s. So a little cool in the early morning, but some fine weather ahead. Here's a look at the 8 to 14 day outlook. This is issued every day. And again, we are in the below average category. Average high is 80. Yesterday we were 72, so we were 8 degrees below average. And I think this trend is going to continue into probably the first 2 weeks of September. And like I said, after that, I think hurricane activity will pick up. It will be hot down in Florida and hot in the Pacific Northwest, or warm in the Pacific Northwest. Rainfall should be just slightly above average, but I would be tempted to go near average in the pattern that we have right now. So all in all, some very nice weather ahead here for the next 2 weeks. A lot of sunny days with high temperatures in the low to mid 70s. Looks like a great Labor Day holiday weekend.
I love the bridge walk.
Yeah, you did that once, didn't you?
I've done it a bunch of times. It's so fun.
Did you go? Did you walk forward and back, or did you get a ride back?
No, every time I've done it, I took the bus to St. Ignace and walked.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if they've changed it since the last time I've done it.
How did they get all those people there? I mean, logistics wise. I mean, you get thousands and thousands of people cramming into a small space.
Yes, that's exactly what it was. It was thousands of people in a small space, but it was fun.
Yeah, and I hope they had enough porta potties.
Usually, I don't recommend doing anything at peak season. Off-season travel is definitely my jam, but the bridge walk is worth it.
Yeah, neat. And people do walk, right? Or do people run for time or anything?
Nobody I know, but I'm sure people do.
Oh, okay. Wow. That would be fun.
Yeah. All right. Viewer comment from Barbara. Our monarchs just showed up on the butterfly bush 5 days ago. I hope they're not heading out just yet. With our drought, the bush just bloomed recently.
That's a great comment. I have a butterfly bush in the back, and I haven't watched it per se, but I did notice on our trip to Mackinac Island at least half a dozen monarch butterflies. All of them were traveling from north to south, so they may be migrating already.
Thank you, Barbara.
Good picture.
Okay, and then someone else sent us an article about artificial intelligence in weather forecasting. So, Bill, what do you think? Do you think it will improve forecasting? The article made several points that proponents say that AI modeling can get rid of human bias, but of course, it's also only as good as its programming, and it can review data sets faster and more thoroughly than people maybe can, which they say might allow for longer lead times and improve warnings and responses for weather events.
That is a great statement there. The truth of it is there are already AI models. I mean, we've talked before about models such as the NAM, the GFS, the Euro, the Canadian, Japanese model. There are a number of different colleges and universities that have their own models, but there are AI models out there. I was one of the first to go check them out. I thought, boy, if this thing is going to be, the best forecasting tool, I want to be using it. But I find that it's no better than any other model, and it's going to take, rather than rely on that model, the AI model, I'm going to continue to watch it, but keep track of what its biases might be. But right now, I don't see any drastic improvement. But I think with time, there will be an improvement using the AI models.
And that's true in my line of work too. So besides the airport, I also do web development, mostly for personal injury attorneys. And sometimes the AI results, when you just put it into Google, it's just wrong. And you just look at it and, oh, that citation's wrong. There's this important nuance and they're not explaining it, which first of all, it's the writers who are informing the AI results. And then sometimes the AI doesn't pick and choose what's correct. So there's always going to be that human element in what we do, because that's you need it on both ends. You need the discretion when you're creating the information, and then you also need it on the other end to evaluate what information it's giving you.
Well, I keep track of, and I show you a graphic on this a lot of days of what the high temperatures are inland and at the lake. And then I have to find out, like for instance, we had an upwelling event at the lake where you had this cold water coming up, and that's going to affect the air temperature as well. The air coming in off the lake is going to be modified by the water that's there in the lake. And I have to know, like I check the buoys to find out how thick that upwelling area is. If the buoys are still showing water temperatures of around 70 and it's 50 at the shoreline, well, the air is only going to be spending, 2 miles to cross the cold water. So it's not going to cool off very much. And of course, the difference between the land and the water is less in late summer than it is in early summer. You get days in May when you can get I've seen a 20-degree temperature difference between Grand Haven and Grand Rapids. And this time of year, you just don't see that because the water in general is warmer. So, and like I said, with the west wind pretty brisk here these several days, that should mix up the water quite a bit at the shore here.
All right. Well, thanks, viewer, for sending in that comment. We'll all stay tuned. Okay, August 27, 1856, Abraham Lincoln visited Kalamazoo before he was president.
Really?
And an attorney named Hezekiah Wells invited him to speak at a Republican gathering. There were a lot of people speaking at the gathering. He spoke for 16 and a half minutes, and the speech was about the Kansas-Nebraska Act of 1854.
No, I was going to say, I wonder what he would talk about. I mean, did he mention, saying this was 1856, so you're half a dozen years before the Civil War broke out.
And the Kansas-Nebraska Act did have to do with the Civil War and expansion of those states and what the laws were going to be. Yeah, it was all that going on.
Wow. Well, that's very interesting. And of course, the Republican Party was very new and had its roots in Wisconsin and Michigan as an anti-slavery party for the most part.
So, hope he had a good visit to Kalamazoo on this day in 1856.
Yeah, very nice.
August 7, 1809, Hannibal Hamlin was born. Who is he and why do we care? Hamlin Lake near Ludington is named after Hannibal Hamlin, who was one of Lincoln's vice presidents. And it was Charles Mears who named it after him. And Charles Mears was a politician. His family was also in the lumber industry, and then he got into politics. And it was the Mears family that donated the land for what is now Charles Mears State Park.
Yes, so, and of course, the little town of Mears is up there too.
Yeah.
Oceana County. Wow, 12 miles and 5,000 acres, huh? Wow.
So Michigan's largest inland man-made lake. And there's also a Hamlin Township, and the namesake of Hamlin Lake is Hannibal Hamlin, born on this day in 1809.
Interesting. Wow.
There's so much history going on beneath the surface that I don't know about.
There's a Hannibal, Missouri, too. I wonder if there's any connection. But that was a name.
Who is Hannibal, Missouri named after?
Yeah, we have somebody that can quickly look this up.
Is named after ancient General Hannibal Barca.
In Missouri.
After an ancient hero from Carthage who served as the inspiration for naming Hannibal Creek and the original source of the city's name in Missouri.
Was that the Hannibal that with the elephants?
I don't know. I was sleeping that day in history class.
I remember that from my ancient history course. Hannibal brought some elephants or something and tried to cross the Alps or something.
Hannibal Barca used elephants during the Second Punic War, most notably the 37 African forest elephants that he led across the Alps to invade Italy.
Oh.
They were a powerful psychological and military tactic against the Roman Republic.
That's interesting. Miss Morrow, my ancient histories teacher, would be very proud that I remembered that.
He would. That was pretty good.
Wow.
Okay, so Hamlins all over the world, we salute you. Or Hannibals and Hamlins. Okay.
Interesting.
Okay, here's your quiz question, and it's a weather-themed question. August 27, 1964, this musical was released in the United States. The first words in the movie are the character Bert, saying, "Winds in the east, mist coming in, like something is brewing, about to begin. Can't put my finger on what lies in store, but I feel what's to happen all happened before."
Well, that's interesting. Bert, could that be Bert and Ernie from Sesame Street? Could it be Bert and Ernie from It's a Wonderful Life? I think that's Mary Poppins, if I'm not...
Very good. Happy birthday, Mary Poppins.
Yes, always. Yeah, 1964.
Don't you get mistaken for Dick Van Dyke every once in a while?
Yeah, and that's one of my favorite stories to tell you, where this guy came running up to me and said, "You're famous," and then he looked me all over and he goes, "You're Dick Van Dyke," and I'm like, I laughed out loud. I really did. Dick Van Dyke is still alive, by the way, and I believe 99 years old.
What's the first movie that you remember seeing in a theater?
Oh, golly. Um, Boy, it had to be a cartoon of some kind. If I know it was Lady and the Tramp, maybe.
Hmm.
I don't know how far back that movie goes, but I'm assuming it was a Disney cartoon movie of some kind.
All right, so people
Animated
watching at
movie.
home, what is the first movie that you remember seeing in a theater? So answer in the comments. All right, so if you send me a press release, I'll write something up on it as long as it's not offensive or make me have to check the warning box for the YouTubes. So someone sent us a press release about this, so here we are. New Niagara Falls Soarin' style ride. So if you've ever ridden Soarin' over California at Disney World, they made a ride really similar to that at Niagara Falls, and it does seem really cool. So you can experience the feeling of flying over Niagara Falls, seeing it from above, and just like in California Soarin' at Disney World, they like put orange smell in the middle of it when you're flying over the orange groves. They've got smell and sensory effects like wind and mist in this one as well. So it's Canadian dollars, $29.99, but that translates to $21.68 US dollars for adults, and then a little bit less for children. The whole experience is a little longer, but the ride is 6 minutes long, and there's a minimum height and a maximum weight. It is on the Canada side of Niagara.
Right. And how long is it?
The screen is 55 feet high, and
Oh,
then
it's 55 feet high. Oh, okay. I got you.
yeah, and if it's like the one at Disney, you walk into different rows and they strap you in, and then up you go. It lifts the whole thing up, and then it moves you together as a group, so you feel like you're like parasailing over it.
Oh, neat.
Yeah,
That
so that
sounds
was
like it'd be fun.
yeah. So send us your press releases about your Rotary barbecues, family reunions, anything at all that you want to talk about, and we'll put it on as long as it's all right. So
Yeah.
something else to do in Niagara Falls, and I actually would do that. It sounds fun.
In Niagara, there are three falls. There's an American Falls, the Canadian Falls, and the Horseshoe Falls. I think are the three.
And if you're not wearing good footwear, there's a trip and fall.
That's true. If you go in October, it'll be fall. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, if you go to Niagara Falls, don't miss the rapids, which are downstream from the falls. There's some really crazy rapids that are down there, and yeah, I was really impressed by those.
All right, and we have Randall Sportel sent us this from Grand Marais. Beautiful colors in those clouds.
Very neat. I'm assuming that's probably Lake Superior, being Grand Marais and the large body of water there. But
Well,
look at how many
because
different clouds there are there.
yeah, so many. It looks like a painting.
Yeah, it does.
Mm-hmm.
Very
So
cool.
when I don't know where someplace is, I look it up. So there's Grand Marais, if you didn't know.
Okay, well, there's a couple Grand Marais. There's also a Grand Marais that's east of Marquette.
Oh, well, I hope I got the right one.
Yeah, it's interesting. We I'm trying to think of how many there's a lot of lakes that have similar names. Like there's like half a dozen long lakes in lower Michigan, and
It's true.
yeah, interesting. So one of those two Grand Marais. In any case, you're looking out over Lake Superior.
Yeah, well, there's that beautiful photo. Thank you, Randall, for sending.
Mm-hmm.
And we go to Mullet Lake, another beautiful day. I can't tell if it looks like it's going to rain or if that's
Yeah,
just.
it looks like, you know, I'm looking at it from kind of far away, but it looks like we've got a little bit of a rain shaft over there, center right.
Mm.
It'd be interesting to watch it for, you know, a couple minutes and see if it moved much.
Every single one of these, I just want to like sit by the lake and play some cards and eat some pasta salad.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
Just a beautiful spot to be.
that would be nice.
Mm. And another beautiful spot to be. Look at that beautiful summer's day in Montague. Go Wildcats.
Well, that's true. Yeah, I should have worn my sweatshirt. Montague sweatshirt.
Which one? Don't you have three at this point?
I have three. Yes, one of them is in a sad state of disrepair because I've worn it about 400 times, and then I have two newer ones. That's a
I
beautiful
used
picture,
to
by the
make
way.
fun of you for all the old clothes that you wore 400 times, but now that I'm the age that you were, I totally do the same thing.
Yeah, yeah. Especially if I'm not going anywhere, or if I'm just working out in the garden or something like that.
Hmm. One
Um,
time we went back to SMU, and for some reason, I'm never on the alumni list. I don't know why. I get the fundraising mailers, but
mhm.
I was able to talk myself into the tailgate because I was wearing an old SMU Law sweatshirt that like was frayed around the collars and the hands and stuff. And someone had obviously worn it for 15 years, so they were like, "All right, we think you're fine." So there you go. You
So
can talk your way into a Montague Wildcats tailgate.
that could be. Well, I've always liked Montague. That's where they rolled the pumpkins down Dowling Street in October.
So they
And
gave you a sweatshirt for doing a speech, right? And the rest is history.
right,
Yeah.
right. And then the one wore out, and then they sent me another one.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep, yep.
And I remember somebody stopping me on the beach. I was wearing it on the beach down to Pensacola, and somebody came running up to me and thought it was a reference to something in Shakespeare. And I'm
Oh,
like, "Oh,
funny.
it's just town in Michigan, that's all." And that
Okay.
is from John Scully. Nice.
Mhm.
It almost looks biblical, like the archangel Gabriel or something should be descending out of that bright spot in the middle.
Hmm. Well, that's foreboding. He said it looked like it was almost a heart.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah, almost.
Yeah, that really is a really neat
Yeah.
image. Yeah.
Well, thank you, John, for that picture.
Yep. So the thing that I love so much about photographs is no one ever gets the same experience. It's where that
Mhm.
person is in that spot, in that day, and it's theirs and no one else's.
Right. And it can vary the amount of information you get.
Mhm.
You
And
know,
no matter
here,
who you are, you'll never experience even the slightest bit of it.
right. Now we put the name John Scully up there, so people would assume that's the person that took the picture, but there's no indication otherwise as to where the picture was or
Mhm.
um, if there was some event, weather event in progress or something like that.
Mhm. Yeah, and I made the background black because I thought that the usual background that we use just didn't do it justice with the colors.
Mhm. Neat.
Yep. So thanks, John, for sending. And here's your look at Benzie, another beautiful place to be.
Ooh, it looks like a shower coming in there from the right side. Dark
Mm-hmm.
color there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But the blue sky and the sunshine there, that reminds me of some of the scenes I saw coming back from Mackinac Island.
Mm-hmm.
Looked similar to that.
And the different types of trees.
Hmm.
Really
Yeah,
lovely.
Michigan has a lot of different kinds of trees. There's a lot of places on Earth that either don't have trees, like the Sahara Desert or the North Pole or Antarctica,
Mm-hmm.
or they have a limited number of trees. So we've got quite a wide variety of trees that grow here in Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Neat.
There's
Well,
your
we
summer pick.
reached, yeah, go ahead.
That's your summer pick from your trip to Canada.
July 22,
Mm-hmm.
2025. I will never forget being in a snowstorm in the middle of July. That was pretty crazy. Reminder again to send us your pictures and any other comments that you have or questions that we might be able to discuss. The YouTube is at Bill Steffen 616 or go to billsteffen.com. Lots to see there. We got a merch store. We got all kinds of fun stuff. So check it out. In the meantime, enjoy this beautiful day. Have a good one.